Good evening, race fans, boys and girls of all ages. Welcome to the Sunshine State as we are in Volusia County at the Volusia Speedway here tonight for round 3 of the All-Star Sim Racing, the All-Star Racing Series here tonight as we look forward to bringing you round number 3 for tonight's racing action. Coming in to tonight's action, it has had 2 different winners in the last 2 weeks. Last week, taking a look at tonight's race information, it is not that. Hang on a second here.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams, race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Welcome back here. Sorry about the technical difficulties just there a moment ago, but we are back here at sunny Volusia Speedway as we look forward to tonight's races here tonight, and it's going to be a great one as we take a look at tonight's race information for the All-Star Racing Series presented by Autocraft Paint and Bodyworks. Last week, Justin Holt picked up the win, becoming the second winner in series history, holding off Jeff Helton and John Darby, rounding out their podium 1 week ago at the Knoxville Raceway. Now we are down into Florida. The series has traveled down here, and we are looking forward to what is going to be a great night of racing. Taking a look at the current point standings for tonight's racing action. We take a look at the championship standings presented by Autocraft Paint and Bodyworks. Justin Holt top of the top of the board with 330 points. As we get ready to go with tonight's racing action, we'll take a look at here. That is your unofficial point standings coming in here. I believe that is what they will look like showing up here tonight. Track looking very fast here tonight. I can tell you right now that Brandon Marlowe, for your Brandon Marlowe fans out there, he is fastest on the board right now in his number 37. As they get ready to go. Once again, we want to welcome everybody on out here tonight to the Volusia Motor Speedway. This is Upstate Al with the Turn 3 Racing Network. Getting transitioned over here too. Will be a great night of racing. I want to thank everybody for tuning on in as we get ready to go with the racing action. A lot of great action here at Volusia Motor Speedway, home of the Dirt Car Nationals. And the late models come into town. They put on a great show just a moment ago. Everybody was up there working the outside of the racetrack, widening it out, and that is going to provide some great racing here tonight. Jam-packed. They can't fit another driver or fan into the stands with a shoehorn if they had to. Absolutely great crowd here on hand. The All-Star Racing Series presented by Autograph Paint and Body Works, really starting to pick up some steam, getting a following all over the country. Tonight's race will be 75 laps in distance. And then next week, we'll head up to Ohio to the Lima Land Motorsports Park. And then back to the state of Georgia to round out the halfway point of the season at the Lanier National Speedway. And Lanier, for the folks that know me out there, you all know Lanier is one of my favorite racetracks on the scene. We're going to provide some 2 and 3 wide action, just like we are going to see here tonight. Right now, the field getting all set here as we get ready to go with heat race number 1. And with that, let's go down to the starting lineup here to get our grid for you. And this is your starting lineup. Starting up on the front row will be car number 18. That is James Braswell. Braswell and car number 18 will roll off on the pole outside of him. The driver of the Hood Up Motorsports, number 23. This is Matt George. Larry Townsend in that car number 38 had a strong showing at the beginning of last week. He will start third outside of him. The fastest man in practice, Brandon Marlowe, in car number 37. He won the season opener, the number 51, Jacob Laster. He will roll off in the 5th spot. In 6th spot tonight, we'll go to car number 20. This is Tyler Carter. Starting in the 7th spot in heat race number 1 will be Kyle Vandergramp and Mike Stevenson will round out your 8-car field, and that is how they will roll as the grid is set for heat race number 1 coming at you. And it is presented by ABR Setup Shops. We want to thank the guys up at ABR for providing that. So we'll see who will pick up heat race number 1. Remember, twin heat races in action here tonight. Heat race number 1, there's points on the line. Heat race number 2, there's more points on the line. And then it's our 75-lap main event as the sun sets here in Volusia. We got some great cameras getting ready to come at you as the pace car will roll down the back stretch. Take a look outside the left side door. Back at the field, it will be some great racing coming on. We got some great onboard cameras. We got one off the top provided by Sim Motion throughout the evening. We got one out the back by the iRacing Flea Market. How about I go inboard with the inside sim racing cam and out the back, looking back at the driver with the Autograph Paint and Body Works. That is your views here tonight as the crowd will get ready to go. Stand up, get on your feet. We're going to get some green flag racing as heat race number 1 is underway. Braswell going to jump out to early race lead over George in the 3 wide action down the backstretch. That was the number 38 of Townsend. Larry Townsend shot out of a cannon in the middle of the racetrack. His yellow flag is going to fly here. Heat race number 1 going to be slowed just for a moment. And it looks like the number 20, Tyler Carter, has gone around with his Braswell trucking car number 8, number 20. Let's take a look back and see what happened. See him working in the middle of the racetrack. Oh, just got up in front of the 37 of Brandon Marlowe and nowhere to go. So that will end that one there. Bring us underneath our first yellow flag. Good thing with the dirt is yellow flags, well, they are quick. And we'll be back to racing for everybody that's out there ready to go. 6 laps left to go as the field doubles up behind the pace car. James Braswell is your race leader. And that car number 18 outside of him will be the number 23 of Matt George. Matt George checked in on the YouTube chat. Said he's hoping to put on a good show for everybody. I would say so far he is, as he's on the outside of that front row. Lights have gone out around the racetrack. They are going to be getting ready to go here. As we take a look in the turn number 4. Pace truck will be down and away. Then they'll hit the autocraft. Restart zone. We are back underway as they rocket off turn number 4. Braswell with a nice jump here as we get 4 laps to go. Side by side back there for your number 2 spot. George working the outside of the racetrack. Townsend down low. And here comes Brandon Marlowe. Marlowe working the outside of Lassiter. Lassiter down low, hugging the inside line there. You see him make some get up through there. As now our timing and scoring gets updated here with the yellow flag laps not counting. So 6 laps to go. 1 car up the racetrack. That was Vandergriff. He got up the outside, kissed the outside wall, but up front it is Braswell trying to run away and hide from Matt George. George runs in your number 2 spot, then it's Townsend. And it's a great battle for that 4th spot. Lassiter trying to hold off the 31. Now he'll dive down to the inside. Can he make it stick? And let's go in car. Down here in the turn number 1, you see Lassiter working the middle of the racetrack. Townsend down low now underneath the number 37 of Marlowe. Everybody jostling for position. Oh, they almost touched. You couldn't fit a piece of paper between those two. Off to number 4. That's the type of caliber of driver that we're going to see here tonight. One driver with a little bit of electrical issues. That's the 44 of Stevenson, and he's going to work it down to the inside of the 37 of Marlowe and the 38 of Townsend. Meanwhile, white flag is out last trip around the speedway for the driver, the number 18 junior of Braswell. Braswell down to the inside through turns 3 and 4. Final trip off turn number 4. He will get the checkered flag. Braswell will pick up the heat race win. It'll be George, Lassiter, Marlowe rounding out your top 4. So just like that, heat race number 1 into the books, and heat race number 2 going to get ready to grid up here on the front stretch. And as they do that, let's take and bring you tonight's starting grid for heat race number 2. And on the pole will be car number 6, the driver with the Hood Up Motorsports entry. Just signed the paperwork. Jeff Helton on the pole outside of him. The number 28, that is Blake Brown. Blake Brown in car number 28. Next driver in line in car in the 3rd spot in the Wrath Racing. Car number 117, this is Jeremy Prey. Jeremy Prey will roll off in the 3rd spot. Right to his right elbow will be car number 00 with John Darby. John Darby in car 00 will start 4th. Thomas Vickers in car number 1 will roll off 5th, and outside of him will be the car out of Texas. This is Michael Kennedy. Kennedy in car number 98. And shotgun on the field will be car number 46. This is Mr. Sean Kastritza. Constriction in car number 46, the Fanatec entry, will roll off 7th in shotgun on the field as we get ready to go with heat race number 2. 8 laps will be the distance. Brand new look for the number 28 of Blake Brown, a very sharp automobile. As they work down here, you see that number 28. Beautiful paint job on that one. As they get ready to go green flag racing off of turn number 4. Green flag is up and the JDM Designs heat race number 2 is underway. Oh, contact. Brown going to get sent up the racetrack and he'll get nosed into the outside wall. And yellow flag going to come out early for the driver of the 28. Blake Brown. He'll get pointed back in the right direction. Let's take a look back and see what happened to the number 28. Still working the outside of the racetrack. It looks like, oh, Darby just got into the corner and just sent him a little bit sideways, got a left rear. Maybe a little bit of netco. Let's take a different look at it. You see Brown get a little bit tight there and had to check up, and I don't think that Darby had time to check up for it. I mean, no harm, no foul, but a tough break for the driver of the number 28, who is now pit side. So we'll see if he can make it back out, get some damage fixed to that automobile. Meanwhile, up at the front of this one, it'll be the number 6 of Helton. Now he's got the number 117 of Jeremy Prey to his outside. So the field getting ready to go back. Green flag racing this time off of turn number 4. We're going to get a complete restart. There's 1 lap in the books when they cross the line. Pace truck down in the way. Helton slams on the gas and we are underway with heat race number 2. This one's going to be out as Brown has had to take the car behind the wall. Now a bid for your race lead. Here comes Darby down the bottom through the slick. Helton going to work back to the outside in that car number 6. They work door to door off of turn number 2 and down the back stretch. One driver on the outside, that is Prey. He's racing with Vickers. They're going to think about going 3 wide. That time Helton way up the racetrack. Someone hooked the phone line to him, give him a call back to the racetrack. Darby out front. Everybody watching the battle for second now as Helton runs in your number 2's position. It is Vickers now in the 3rd. Kennedy from the last place starting spot. He is trying to make his way inside the top 5. Everybody doing a great job as they work down the back stretch and into turn number 3. All chasing the 0-0 of Darby, the driver out of Trummins, Tennessee. 3 laps to go. That time by as they cross the line and they go back into turn number 1. Down to the inside, that's Kennedy. Kennedy's going to get hit by Vickers. In trouble down here in turn number 1. Yellow flag coming out. Yellow, yellow, yellow. Down there in turn number 1. Let's take a look and see what happened. Jeremy Prey involved with it along with Kennedy. Let's take a look and see. I'm racing really hard back there for your number 3 position. They get down in the corner. Oh, looks like the 98 of Kennedy had to check up and the one of Vickers just couldn't slow up. Kostritza hard in the outside retaining wall. So a tough break as we come back to live pictures. The field pace is behind her. Your race leader is the number 00 of John Darby. Great camera views here tonight from our friends. Should be a single file restart. White as the lights have gone out here in the JDM Designs Heat Race number 2. Remember, we do have a second round of heat races coming up for you guys out there, so plenty of racing. Make sure you got your popcorn bowl full. You got yourself your favorite beverage of choice. As now they double it up here. 6 cars trying to settle this one. Darby, Helton on the front row. Kennedy and Prey in row number 2. Kostritza Vickers in row number 3. Who's it going to be? This time off the corner, it'll be 2 laps to go. Oh, a little bit tight for Darby. That's going to open the inside line for Kennedy. Kennedy down low in that car number 98. Can he make it stick as they work off of turn number 2 and down the backstretch? Helton with the momentum on the outside. Off of turn number 4. This time by, it'll be 1 lap to go for your race leader, the 00 Darby. Down the backstretch they go for the final time. Here comes Helton. One last ditch effort to put it in the victory lane for heat race number 2. Can he get it done? The JDM Designs heat race is going to go to Darby, Helton, Kennedy, Bray, Vickers, and Kostritza. Will round out your running order here in heat race number 2. And just like that, we're going to go to our next round of heat races. 2 heat races in each round here tonight. And as they get ready to grid, we'll give you the starting lineup in just a moment. Starting up on the front row, it's going to be car number 18 of James Braswell. Braswell was on the pole, member in the first heat race. As we get ready to go with this one, let's bring you tonight's starting lineup. It'll be car number 18, Junior, up on the front row. It'll be Jeff Helton in car number 6 to his outside. Then it'll be Brandon Marlowe in car number 3, and then the number 1 of Thomas Vickers. Kyle Vandergriff will be rolling off in spot number 5. So that is your 5-car heat race as they get ready to go here for heat race number 3. So heat race number 3 are being brought to you by the ABR Setup Shop. ABR Setup Shop, a full-service setup shop, weekly official setups, custom individual setups, and individual coaching. For more information, check them out on the web at abrsetupshop.com. abrsetupshop.com. That'll be our heat race number 1 getting ready to come at you. As we get ready to go with heat race number 3. Braswell looked very good in his opening heat race. Can he do it again? We are about to find out here. Green flag is up, so we are underway. Down here into turn number 1 they go. It'll be Braswell showing the way. Everybody jostling for position as they come up the corner. Braswell's going to lead it. Helton in second. Vandergriff going to run third, but yellow flag is out as Brandon Marlowe has gone around in car number 37. He gets it pointed back in the right direction, but the crew is going to have to bang out that right rear quarter panel come feature time. take a look and see what happened to the number 37 of Brandon Marlowe. Coming to the green flag, you see him down low underneath the 6 of Helton. We go down to the turn number 1. Oh, got tight, and Vandergriff and Vickers each going to get a piece of it, and Marlowe will come to a stop, and that'll bring out our yellow flag here in heat race number 3 for the ABR setup shops. So the field pacing around behind the Chevy Pace truck. I want to thank everybody for tuning on in here tonight as we bring you tonight's coverage of the All-Star Sim League. Pace behind the pace track. See Brandon Marlowe's number 37 going to be shotgun on the field. Braswell up in the front of this one as yellow lights have gone out around the racetrack. So we're going to go back. Green flag racing. As the field paces down the back stretch, Barney the flagman going to switch the green flag in the hand. And we'll be back racing here in this heat race. Number 3 brought to you by ABR Setup Shop. Braswell going to jump on the loud pedal first, and he's going to run it down here in the turn number 1. Braswell down at the bottom of the racetrack. You can see the moisture is starting to get a little slick in the center as now Helton works the outside down the backstretch. 3 wide for spot number 3. Marlowe down to the low. Vickers in the middle of the racetrack. They almost make contact with Vandergriff. And it'll put Braswell up on the front of this one as Helton trying to close in some ground. Here comes the 21 of Vandergriff as he's trying to close in on this one. Vandergriff did not have a very good heat race in his opening round of qualifying. Trying to capitalize on that in heat race number 3. So they work down here in the turn number 1. Marlowe working down low underneath the Vickers. Meanwhile, Braswell up on the front of this one. And Helton really working the outside of the racetrack. Vandergriff with a little bit of electrical issues. Another race leader, number 18, Braswell. Driver out of Marion, Arkansas. Braswell driving number 18, part of the great line around. See Helton on the outside as they work through the corner down the backstretch. A little bit deeper in the field, Vandergriff has run into third. 4th spot is now the 37 of Marlowe, and Thomas Vickers rounding out your 5th and final spot in heat race number 3. 6 laps are in, 6 laps remain in this 12-lap affair as Braswell really starting to spread it out. 3/4 of a second gap over the battle for second is now Kyle Vandergriff trying to close in. Vandergriff working the bottom racetrack, then washes up the racetrack. He'll lose some ground. That time he jumps the cushion. That allows the 6 of Helton to speed on by. Helton there, the driver out of Richland, Missouri, as he works down here in the turn number 1 and 2. He's starting to close back in on your race leader. 4 laps to go. Helton making a charge on the outside of the racetrack as your race leader hugs the bottom of the curve. 3 to go, and half a second is your distance between your top 2. Down the backstretch they will come as they roar down in the turn number 3. 2 laps to go at the stripe, and it'll be the number 18 of Braswell showing away, but Helton is there. Helton has found something in the later stages of this heat race as he works down the backstretch. Can he make something happen? He'll have 1.5 mile left to go as they come off of turn number 4. White flag is down the final lap in the ABR Setup Shops. Heat race number 3. Helton to the top side of the speedway. Can he make a move on Braswell down the backstretch? Braswell holding the wheel pretty down low. Down to the turn number 3 for the final time. Off of turn number 4. Braswell's going to go perfect so far tonight. He'll pick up heat race number 3. Helton will finish second. Vandergriff, Marlowe, and Vickers will round out heat race number 3, and just like that we'll be moving on into heat race number 4 as the field gets ready to go. With that one, we'll give you tonight's starting lineup Starting on the front row in heat race number 4, it'll be John Darby in car number 00. Remember, he picked up the heat race win in heat race number 2 just a little while ago. Jacob Lassiter will start to the outside in the Max Green car number 51. Starting to the inside of row number 2, that'll be car number 117. That is Jeremy Prey. Jeremy Prey will roll off third. And outside of him, the car number 44, this is Mike Stevenson. Shotgun on the field in car number 28 out of Paragould, Arkansas, in the Autocraft Bodywork Sim Motions Man Motorsports. Gary Beard Trucking, car number 28. This is Blake Brown. Blake Brown will roll off 5th and be our 5th and final car here in qualifier number 4. To the field, getting around the racetrack, and it's been a great night of racing so far. Hopefully you're enjoying it. If you are, make sure you hit that thumbs up. Let these drivers know how much that you appreciate what they are doing for you out there. They are putting on one heck of a show, and you think this is something. Wait till their 75-lap main event just a little bit later on here tonight. It is going to be a good one as the field rolls behind the Chevy Pace truck for the final time. Next time it'll be our green flag here in the FEGPC heat race number 4. Darby up on the front row, Stevenson and Prey in row number 2. Blake Brown's got the long road to hoe. And he'll start 5th and shotgun on the field. Green flag is out and we are underway. Darby going to mash the gas first down here in turn number 1. Darby right where he picked up from heat race number 2 up on the front of this one, but now he's got the 51 of Lassiter. Lassiter going to try to make a move on him down here in the turn number 3. Darby a little bit sideways. Here comes Lassiter. Lassiter with a great drive off the corner. He will take your race lead. And we have a new race leader here in heat race number 4, but 4 cars underneath the blanket. Darby on the outside, Lassiter down low. And here comes Stevenson in car number 44. He's working the middle of the racetrack. He'll cut it down low, but he's got the 117 of Prey down there filling that real estate as they are still 3 wide. Darby up to the middle of the racetrack. Prey down low. Still 3 wide for spot number 2. Get all behind the number 51 of Lassiter, but all eyes are on this battle for second as they're still 3 wide. They'll make it 2 by 2 as they work off of turn number 4. Darby now getting clear of that one as they work down the back stretch. Allowing for some guys to move around the racetrack. Right now the middle of the racetrack is really starting to be where you want to be as they work down here through turns number 1 and 2. Or 3 and 4 is now Darby starting to close in on the backside of that number 51 of Lassiter. Lassiter working the outside of the racetrack. Darby's about a lane below him. He'll draw even at the line. It is a 00 Darby as he works down to the middle of the racetrack now. John Darby trying to take the lead back from the number 51 of Lassiter. As this time by, they will see 5 laps to go in heat race number 4. Lassiter doing a great job running the middle of the high side of the racetrack, but Darby might have found something just a little bit lower as now they'll run down the back stretch. Darby with a bit to the inside, can't quite do anything. He'll draw even. Oh, some contact off the turn number 4. Everybody keeping it clean and green as they battle it out here for your race lead. Third spot is Stevenson. Prey is 4th, and Blake Brown with more issues on that number 28. He'll get it straightened out, race fans, for our feature event coming up in just a little bit. 3 laps to go now. Darby, can he make a move? Let's go on. As they work down here in the turn number 1, or 2 laps to go, excuse me, the popsicle sticks are up. Down here, down the backstretch, can Darby make a move on him? Darby's going to take one last ditch effort in this last lap. Can he do it? White flag is out. Final trip around the speedway. Lassiter with a great opening lap pass. He took the race lead and he has got a stranglehold on it. 5-car length advantage for the 51 off of turn number 4. Checkered flag is up and it'll be the 51 of Lassiter picking up the win. Darby second, Stevens Prey, and Blake Brown will round out heat race number 4. And that'll move us into our 5th and final heat race of the evening here tonight. And it'll be on the pole for heat race number 1. It is going to be car number 23. That is Matt George. Matt George in car number 23 up on the front row. The driver out of Conway, Arkansas, the Noel Industries TCH Truck and Auto Repair, 913 Motorsports. It is the number 23 of Matt George. Starting to his outside will be car number 98. That is Michael Kennedy. Kennedy in car number 98 will start on the outside of the front row. Larry Townsend is going to roll off in that 3rd spot in that very potent number 38 in the Hood Up Motorsports entry. And then outside of him in the Wolf Pumps, car number 46, it is Sean Kostritza. And shotgun on the field in car number 20, this is Tyler Carter. Tyler Carter. And car number 20 with the Mid-South Mafia, Braswell Trucking out of Marion, Arkansas. He'll roll off shotgun in our 5th and final heat race here tonight. Being brought to you by Sim Motion. As the field gets the 1 to go sign as they cross underneath the flag stand. These drivers are putting on a show. If you're out there watching on YouTube, make sure you hit that thumbs up. Let these drivers know that you appreciate what they are doing for you. If you're new to the Turn 3 Racing Network, well, I welcome you to the Turn 3 Racing Network. Hit that little subscribe button up there. You'll get notifications every Tuesday night when the All-Star Racing Series will take to the track. And they have another 7 rounds after tonight. This is round number 3. As the Sim Motion heat race number 5 going to get on the green flag, and it'll be the number 23 of George jumping on the loud pedal. He'll jump out the early race lead. Side by side for a second. Townsend had to get on the binders a little bit. That's going to allow the 20 of Carter. He started 5th all the way up to 3rd. Kennedy runs in that number 3 spot. Here comes the number 20. Contact off of turn number 4. Everybody keeping it. They're still rubbing on it. Rubbins racing 3 wide for spot number 3. 1 car sideways. That's the 98 of Michael Kennedy. Somehow he able to keep it in the right direction as George stows on your race lead. Carter up to your number 2 spot. 3rd spot along to Townsend, but he is being paddled by the 46 of Kostritza. Kostritza down to the inside, couldn't quite make it work that time, but now Kennedy starts to reel him in as they enter turn number 3. Townsend runs that 3rd spot. We got a bid for your race lead. The number 20 of Carter down to the inside. Can he make a move on him down here in the turn number 3? Down at the bottom of the racetrack. He's going to hook the moisture on the bottom of the racetrack. New race leader on lap number 9. Lap number 3, 8 laps to go. Lap number 3 is going to go into the books for Carter, but here comes George. George going to cross him over down the backstretch as Carter will slam the door shut. Someone checked the forehead of the 23 of George as the door was just slammed in his face in the turn number 3. Everybody keeps it pointing in the right direction, but that little miscue has allowed Townsend to start to reel him in, and Michael Kennedy back to your 4th spot as Sean Kostritza rounds out your top 5. Up front it is Tyler Carter showing the way as he's starting to open up the gap as he's taking that number 20 to the front of the field and starting to show the way. Townsend down low. He'll make some contact with George. Everybody keeps it pointed in the right direction. Full contact racing at the halfway point of heat race number 5 presented by Sim Motion. 23 of George work in the middle of the racetrack. Now Townsend down at the bottom. They work down the backstretch here in the turn number 3. See Townsend really stretching it down to the inside. George with the momentum on the outside. Can he make it stay up there? Townsend working down low with George to the outside. Slide John Townsend up the racetrack. Left front coming off. Crossover move by the 23 of George. Great racing for your number 2 spot as Tyler Carter has really stretched out his leg. He must not have been leg day at the gym as he has opened it up to almost a 2-second gap over Townsend. Townsend down low, now slides it to the outside. Now Kennedy starting to put the pressure to the 23 of George. This time off a turn number 2. It'll be the white, or 2 laps to go. 2 laps to go as we look at our Autocraft Paint and Body Works speed shots as the field works around the racetrack. Off a turn number 4, the white silk will fly. The final trip around in the Sim Motion Heat Race number 5. Carter showing the way. He's done a great job all heat race long as he works down the backstretch. And into turn number 3 for the final time. Off a turn number 4, heat race number 5. It'll belong to the 20 of Tyler Carter. Townsend will come home second. George in third. Kennedy and Kostritza gonna round out your 5th and final heat race of the evening. And just like that, everybody's going to get some extra track time here as they will get ready to go with tonight's feature event. And while they get ready to do that, we are going to take a moment and let you guys know and thank you for watching the All-Star Racing Series here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. It is being brought to you by Autocraft Paint and Body Work. If you get into a collision, all you got to think of is Autocraft Paint and Body Works, a full-service auto collision located in Brooklyn, Arkansas. And you can find out more information, and they are the proud title sponsor of the All-Star Racing Series at AutoCraftNEA.com. I'd also like to thank ABR Setup Shop, a full-service setup shop, weekly official setups, custom individual setups, and individual coaching. For more information, go to abrsetups.com. JDM Designs, a proud sponsor of the awards here this season, along with the paint schemes you're seeing on the racetrack are all done by JDM Designs. We really thank them for everything that they have done. FDG PC, you're in the market for a new computer, that you need a reliable, fast computer for iRacing. Look no further. Log on to fdgpc.net and order yours today. Sim Motion, your one-stop shop for sim rigs, chassis, pedals, wheels, anything to do with sim racing. It's all about the motion, and it is Sim Motion. Inside Sim Racing TV. And whenever they come back here, they still found up here. We're going to take a quick break here, and we'll be right back. You are watching the All-Star Racing Series here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
Bowling brings people together.
Right down the middle. You got it. Uh-oh. Good job.
See what you can do, man.
Oh. Wait.
That's a strike right there. Connect with family and friends. Go bowling.
Welcome back out here to the Volusia Speedway, where hot laps are just wrapping up, and we are watching here, and we, as always, proud to bring you all the racing action. It's Upside Al up in the booth here for the Turn 3 Racing Network as our starting lineup starts to take to the grid, and it is going to be an exciting race night here as we get ready to go with our 75 lap main event. And this is your starting lineup for the tonight's feature event. Starting up on the front row, we saw him very fast all night long. He has been perfect, trying to make it a perfect sweep. It is number 18 of James Braswell. James Braswell is going to roll off on the front row. Starting to his outside, his dancing partner will be the car number 51 of Jacob Lassiter. Tyler Carter will roll off in the number 3 spot with Jeff Helton to his outside. John Darby will roll off in the 5th spot, and outside of him will be car number 38, that is Larry Townsend. Kyle Vandergriff will roll off in the 7th spot. Outside of him will be the car number 44, that is Mike Stevenson. Rolling off in the 9th spot in car number 23, this is Matt George. And the outside of him, car number 37, it is Brandon Marlowe. Jeremy Bray and Michael Kennedy will make up row number 6. And the remaining field will be Thomas Vickers and Blake Brown and Sean Kostritza. And ladies and gentlemen, get on your feet, grab your kid, wave them around as the All-Star Sim Series presented by Autocraft Bodyworks shows you the greatest sight in motorsports. The 4 wide salute as they work down the front stretch. Get on your feet, show them what you have here tonight. Hit that like button and smash it as these drivers are getting ready to put on a great show for you. The full fendered warriors of the All-Star Sim Racing League, ready to go racing for you. 75 laps of action coming your way. Always love the 4 wide salute, and this league just showcasing once again the great drivers that they have out there as we get ready to go. Looking high above, look at how beautiful of a facility the Volusia Speedway is. Next week, we are headed up to Lima Land Motorsports Park, but before we get there, we have to do the dance down here in the Sunshine State. Beautiful weather. Let's take a look at it once again here tonight. Weather 72 degrees, 97% humidity. That's going to keep that track nice and humid out there. And will we have a third different winner for this series? We're going to get the green flag this time off of turn number 4. Braswell and Lassiter up on the front row. Green flag is up and we are underway. Down here in the turn number 1, Braswell going to jump up to the race lead. Here comes Carter. He'll take away that number 2 spot from Lassiter. They will rock it down the backstretch. Everybody jostling for position 2 by 2. Back here from 5th on back, you see Townsend working the outside of the racetrack. And now Carter starting to feel the pressure from the number 51 of Lassiter. Lassiter down low. Can he make it stick down the backstretch? He'll hug the bottom rail down in the corner. Almost contact. All this happening behind your race leader, the 18 of Braswell. Up front where he's been all night long. He picked up the heat race win, heat race number 1. Then again, in heat race number 4, he's looking for the perfect nightcap. Side-by-side battle with John Darby and Jeff Helton, the Hood Up Motorsports drivers running door-to-door down in the corner. And here comes the 21 of Vandergriff. Everybody jostling for position as they work down here through turns number 1 and 2. You see him fanning out almost 3 wide. Darby down to the inside. He's looking a little bit deeper in the field. That's the 21 of Vandergriff. Townsend right there. And how about this driver, the man on the move, the number 28 of Blake Brown. Started shotgun on the field after not having a few heat races go his way. Some mechanical issues on that number 28, and he has got the car. You got headed in the right direction, already up 2 positions. Right there in front of him, the 98 at top. Kennedy working the bottom of the racetrack. Everybody jostling resistance. Marlowe out of shape. He'll have to get on the binders to get it under corralled. As the 37 of Marlowe up the racetrack, a little bit tight that time into turn number 1. These cars on a brand new tire model that the service has given us, and it is throwing these drivers for a little bit of a loop. You see them still 3 wide. How about the action so far early on? Lap number 6 into the books, working lap number 7. Up front is Braswell. He's opened up a 1.5 second. Is now Lassiter and Carter are going to do the dance as they work off of turn number 4. But lap 7 in the books. Volusia Speedway showing once again why it's one of the best racetracks in the country, as we have racing all over this racetrack. 3 and 4 wide. See everybody jostling for position. The number 20 of Carter starting to take the back end of the race car. That has allowed Darby in the 51 of Lassiter to close in on them, as that is the battle for your runner-up position. Carter runs down there in the spot number 3. 4th spot will be Darby. 5th will go to the 6th of Helton. Vandergriff runs 6th. Townsend has lost 1 spot early on in this 75-lap feature event, as he runs back there in the 7th spot. The hard charger up 4 positions is the driver of the 98. This driver, as they head down here in the turn number 1 and 2. The 98 Kennedy. He is up to your 8th position after starting 12th. He's working his way up towards the front. He'll work down at the bottom of the racetrack. They roar down the front stretch. 1 spot behind him, also tied what would move up 4 positions. That's the number 1 of Vickers. Vickers doing a very nice job in car number 1 up to your 9th spot. Stevenson runs there in spot number 10, and that'll round out your top 10. 1 spot outside of a top 10 run is the number 28 of Blake Brown. Matt George trying to work his way back up towards the front of this one as he battles with the 37 of Marlowe. And they got the 117 of Prey right there as well. And in the 46 of Sean Kostritza. He's working out there as well. That's your 15 car field. As we go back towards the front, there's your top dog is now starting to feel the pressure. The lead is starting to shrink. Carter and Lassiter stop battling it out, and they are closing in on your race leader. Down the backstretch, they will go 15 laps from the end of the books this time. It'll be 60 laps to go. They cross underneath the stripe. Lights coming up around the Volusia Speedway as we head into the darkness. John Darby runs there in your number 2 spot, or the 4th spot, and 5th is the number 6 of Helton. Everybody single filed it out inside the top 5. Is now Larry Townsend starting to feel the pressure. Kennedy has caught the backside of Townsend. This is the battle for 7th. That time Kennedy up the racetrack. He's going to move, let the number 1 of Vickers get by. Is now Kennedy going to try to come back on Vickers. The track starting to change as we go with our ABR drone cam. Watching the 38 of Townsend work to the bottom of the racetrack. Gets a little bit tight there. Off the corner, Vickers now going to work to the outside of him in turn number 1. Everybody doing a great job. Kennedy down to the bottom of the racetrack. He tries to take a low. As now Townsend will hold off the number 1 of Vickers so far. Great battle right here. A little bit further behind there. Michael Kennedy is now Blake Brown trying to crack the top 10. He's got the 37 of Marlowe down to the inside. Katie hold him off of turn number 4. Brown working the outside of the racetrack. He's going to try to cross him over. Couldn't quite do it that time down here in the turn number 1. Great little 5-car battle back here for your, this is from 10th on back, all underneath a blanket. George works the bottom of the inside now of the 28 of Blake Brown. Brown with that purple and green number 28, beautifully prepared automobile. Really digging that one out there tonight. Meanwhile, up at the front, we got a bad bid for your number 2 spot. John Darby's going to get into the backside of the double to 20 of Carter. That gets him out of shape. Darby's going to lose 1-2 spots out of that exchange. Somehow Carter able to hold on to it, but now Lassiter back to your 3rd spot, and he'll try to capitalize on that as we've now got 6 cars into Blake and Vandergrift up to the backside of Helton down to the inside of the turn number 1. Slide job almost cleared him off the corner. They work down the back, up the backside. But the turn number 21 of Vandergrift. Really see the driver working there, working the steering wheel with the throttle, just listening to go for a while. That's just one lap and big trouble down here in the corner. Big trouble. Your 2nd place driver, Tyler Carter, involved. He sits facing the wrong direction in the car number 20. Tough break for this driver. As our first yellow flag will fly. Blake Brown also involved. Sean Kostritza involved as well. So we'll have to dissect this yellow flag as our first yellow flag of the evening has flown. Let's see, down in the corner, you see the double 0 of Darby down to the inside. Oh, they make contact. Darby hard contact the outside wall, and everybody just piles in. Nowhere to go. Marlowe on the binders. Same with George. They're able to get through without any damage. Let's go on board. 20. Oh, a little bit of neck go there. They hooked the right rear quarter panel, and then it was on. Take one more look at it as they work down the back stretch. Now that's separate incident. Blake Brown goes around in turn number 3, so that 2 separate accidents out there. Let's take a look at Tyler Carter's incident one last time. You see him working the outside. As they work down the back stretch, they just get hooked there, and that sends Darby to the outside wall, and then everybody else comes in. Darby, Kennedy also involved. Townsend slowed down in that one as well. So we come back. We're going to go back to a green flag condition, this time off turn number 4, but Braswell going to hold on your race leader. Green flag is out. We're back underway. Lassiter in your number 2 spot. Carter able to get his spot back. Officials are deciding he will get that 4th spot. His yellow flag was flown for the spinning 28 of Blake Brown. Look at them, 3 wide down the front stretch. How they make it stick, you got me. They're still 3 wide down here through the corner. Somehow they're able to make it all work as they work. Now the yellow flag will come out. Someone out of shape. I believe that might be the number 6 of Jeff Helton. Tough break for the driver in his debut night with the Hood Up Motorsports Group. Let's take a look back here. And see what happened to the SRI number 6. See him working the outside, 3 wide, Townsend and Marlowe underneath them. Here comes the 23 of George. They make some contact. Oh, the 117 is going to get him as well. And oh, tough break. Blake Brown comes in and cleans the right side off his car. Nothing he could have done as the 6 of Helton was already gone around. Let's watch it from a different angle as they work down the front stretch. See George down to the inside and get through those bumps there, and it really upsets your car. And I believe that was the 117 of Prey getting into the rear quarter of the number 6 of Helton. And that will bring us underneath our 2nd yellow flag of the evening. Tough break. Helton's going to slide back into that number 14 position. Is your race leader. They start to double file it up. It'll be the 18 of Braswell up on the front row. The 51 of Lassiter to his outside. See how much wider this track is getting, and let me tell you, it is going to get all the way up towards that outside retaining wall. You're going to see them 3, 4 wide. You thought 3 wide action was intense. Wait till they go 4 wide in a little bit here as the field paces behind the truck as they roll through turns 3 and 4 for the final time. We're going to see them underneath this pace speed. Green flag will be back out as the pace truck will go to the safe haven of the pit road. Green flag is back up and we're back underway. Braswell showing the way. Carter down to the inside is now the yellow flag going to fly once again on this restart. It looks like possibly Blake Brown and Jeff Helton have come together. Let's take a look here on this restart. Oh, they get hooked together and Blake Brown hard in the outside wall with Helton on his right rear quarter panel. And that'll bring out our yellow flag here coming to the green flag. So as we're underneath the yellow flag, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back here to the Volusia Speedway. You're watching the All-Star Racing Series here on the Turn 3 Racing Network.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic, real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome back as the field rolls through turns 3 and 4. The pace truck going to be down and away. We're going to go back green flag racing, single file restart. Braswell going to jump on the loud pedal down here in the turn number 1. It'll be the driver of the 18 working the bottom of the racetrack. Everybody working it down low as they work down the backstretch. Carter in near number 3 spot. John Darby 4th. He's got the hard charging number 98 of Michael Kennedy as he works there. They come out of the corner 3 wide, almost 4 wide. Brandon Marlowe, he's going to get... Townsend will get into the backside of Marlowe. And Brandon Marlowe going to go from the in-house to the out-house as he got all sorts of jacked up off of turn number 4. And I don't believe Larry Townsend was ready for the rapid decrease in speed. And we are underneath the yellow flag once again. See the 37 of Marlowe going to come down pit road. He'll go to the attention of his race crew. Let's see what happened here. See him work out the corner. They were 4 wide. He checks up, gets into the backside of Kennedy, and they got him crossed up. And then Townsend just nowhere to go and through the back bumper of him. Let's take a look from a different angle here. As they work off of turn number 4, you see the action right there. Just got a little bit crossed up, took the rear quite away when he got on the backside of Kennedy, and nothing that Townsend could have done. And the Miller number 37 of Brandon Marlowe out of Dexter, Missouri is the victim of our latest spin cycle. If he's back out onto the racetrack right now, and while we got a moment, we want to thank everybody for tuning on into the All-Star Racing Series on the Turn 3 Racing Network, and it's presented by Autocraft Paint and Body Works. Autocraft Paint Body, which is your full-service auto collision shop located in Brooklyn, Arkansas. You need them, they can help you. Hopefully, you don't need them, but if you do, the Autocraft Paint Body Works crew ready to go and get your car looking as pristine as it was to start before your unfortunate happening there. And I believe the 37 of Marlowe will be making his way to there as they get ready to go back to green flag racing as the pace truck will be down and away. Green flag back up, single file race start. Here is Barney the flag man will wave the green flag. Braswell showing the way. Last run second. Here comes Michael Kennedy. He works underneath the 000 of Darby. Darby's car hopping down the backstretch to the bumps. This track going to be starting to go through that wicked transition period right now. It'll get a little bit bumpy, then it'll smooth back out, and it becomes a handful for your drivers. We saw the 23 of Matt George. He got the cross up 3 wide down the backstretch. Here comes the 21 of Vandergriff. He'll dive it down to the inside. Contact. They'll send George up the racetrack over the cushion. He'll come back in front of the 37 of Marlowe. Marlowe working the bottom racetrack, and now George up in the outside wall, and he will come to a stop. Down here in turn number 1, green flag will stay out for the time being. Tough break for the driver, the 23, as Braswell comes across the line. Lassner will run in your number 2 spot. Tyler Carter runs in third, but he is being contested by the 98 of Kennedy. And now that move will be negated as the 23 of Matt George has stopped on the backstretch and to bring out our 5th yellow flag of the evening. So Matt George hit the outside wall down in turn number 1 in the car. Comes to a stop on the backstretch, able to get it fired back up and down into the pit stalls. So they'll roll off a pit road as 23 stops on the backstretch to bring out that yellow flag. One driver has gone behind pit wall. That's number 46, is Sean Kostritza. He is off of the racing racetrack right now for your friends out there. A tough break for the driver of the 46. Blake Brown down on pit road as well, trying to get some damage fixed on that number 28. So a tough break there is Carter. It's going to really take is Kennedy was starting to make a move underneath that move right there. Kennedy in car number 98, he has moved up through the field as he rides in that 5th spot. He was looking to go for the 4th spot underneath the 20 of Carter when George's car jumped out of gear on the backstretch and would not fire. So now that move has been negated, and now the restart flag here just past the halfway point of this 75 lap affair. Braswell going to jump on the loud pedal. Faster in second, Carter third. Kennedy runs in fourth as Blake Brown comes out of the pits. And he tagged the inside wall. We're underneath the yellow flag once again. Well, they are underneath the yellow flag. We'll be right back here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. You're watching the All-Star Racing Series on the Turn 3 Racing Network.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
Welcome back. Pace truck down to the way. We are back underway. Braswell's going to jump on the gas pedal down here in turn number 1. Side-by-side battle for your number 2 spot. Lassiter work in the middle of the racetrack. We've got him stay at 3-4 wide. Larry Townsend on the outside. Stevenson's going to drive it up the middle. Still 3 wide. One car on the outside wall. That's the 117 of Prey. Prey trying to make it work there as they go off the corner. 3 wide, almost 4 wide down the front stretch. Marlowe going to get turned sideways. George involved in this one down here in the turn number 1. Marlowe, Blake Brown also involved. He'll get it pointed back in the right direction. And they will come to a stop there. And the yellow flag will come out once again for the 7th time for the stopped car up in turn number 1 of Blake Brown. Just past the halfway point, and the track's starting to get tricky, and these drivers are having their hands full out there as we are slowed for the 7th time here on lap number 40. Take a look back here and see they come off of turn number 4. They were 3 and 4 wide. Down here, Brandon Marlowe gets a little bit out of shape. He'll make contact with the 44 of Stevenson. George will go around. And that sent Helton also involved. The 23 of George and the 37 of Marlowe get going. Blake Brown gets pointed back in the right direction and comes to a stop on the outside of turn number 1. And that'll bring out our 7th yellow flag here for the number 28 of Blake Brown. These cars get bouncing through those bumps down the back stretch, and on the front stretch this track gets a little bit bumpy and it'll knock the wheel right out of your hands depending on what your force feedback is for. So let's give it a try again. Off of turn number 4, the green flag is up. Braswell going to jump back on the gas pedal. He has been picture perfect on all the restarts so far here tonight. Everybody clean and green so far through turns number 1. Down the backstretch, bid for your race, your number 2 spot. Tyler Carter down the inside of Lassiter. Carter trying to work the bottom of the racetrack. Can he make it work? One car sideways in the back. That's 00 John Darby. And Jeff Helton also involved. And 1 lap complete since the last yellow flag. It might be a full moon down here tonight. Let's take a look and see what happened to the 6 of Jeff Helton. And Jeff Helton was involved in this one as well. See him working on the backstretch. He's underneath the 23 of George. Go down to the corner. Oh, and Darby gets into the back bumper of the 6 of Helton. Around he will go. And then up and over. Oh, he stuck the landing. We'll give him, look over at the judges. They give him a 4.5 on that lazy roll in turn number 3. Everybody will be able to pull back away. But we are slowed for the 8th time here tonight. James Braswell up on the front of this one. He has fought off every restart. Tyler Carter had the restart of the race. Had gotten around Lassiter for second, and that was negated by the yellow flag. Lights go out around the racetrack. Pace truck will be down and away. We're going to be back green flag racing. 34 laps to go. Green flag is out. Braswell jumps on the loud pedal. Good restart once again by Carter down here in the turn number 1. Carter working the bottom of the racetrack. Lassiter going to roll through the middle. This time they stay closer to Braswell as they work down here in the turn number 3. Braswell working the outside of the racetrack. Now here comes Lassiter. He'll work that out well. Same way as they work down here in the turn number 1. Everybody keeping it clean and green. And since the green flag has fallen so far, is now Kennedy starting to roll in the number 20. Kennedy worked to the outside of the racetrack. Vickers trying to go with him as well. Townsend down low. He'll trying to catfish it down the front stretch. Crossover by the 98 of Kennedy. He'll work the bottom of the racetrack. Here comes Carter on the outside. Down here in the corner, yellow flag coming back out. John Darby involved in another incident. And it looks like the 117 of Prey as well involved to bring out our 9th yellow flag of the evening. Darby working the bottom of the racetrack. He's watching back here the turn 3 replay. Oh, Darby just gets into the corner a little bit hot, and that'll send the 117 around. We'll watch it one more time. Once everything gets in the slick, got a little bit sideways, had to break his momentum when he did. Darby had nowhere to go. And they made contact, and then that'll put us right into our yellow flag for the 9th time here tonight. One more lap, we'll go back green flag race, and let's do a field run through. Sitting in the number 1 spot, James Braswell. He's led it since the green flag has come out. Jacob Lassiter in your number 2 spot. That's how your front row started. Tyler Carter sits 3rd where he started. Then we have the pair of drivers that are up 8 positions from the green flag drop. That is Michael Kennedy. He's up. He started in the 12th spot. He's up to 4th. Then we have Thomas Vickers, who started 13th. He's up to 5th. Then you have Larry Townsend running 6th, Mike Stevenson 7th, Kyle Vandergriff 8th, Matt George 9th, Brandon Marlowe 10th, Jeff Helton and Jeremy Prey 11th and 12th, John Darby, Blake Brown, and the 46th of Sean Kostritza rounding out your running order. Light staying on the racetrack is, we'll have 1 to go. Getting slicked off in the center of the racetrack. You're going to be looking for a grip out there. Where these late model suspensions will really start to come into play. There's the pace truck. Down and away. Green flag going to come back out. Braswell going to jump on the gas pedal. Green flag is up. We're back underway. Braswell works up the racetrack a little bit tight that time off of turn number 4. That's going to allow the 20 of Carter down to the inside. Can he make a move on him? Side by side, a little bit of a hip check, a little bit deeper in the field. That sends Vickers up the racetrack as we got them leaning on each other off turn number 4. 2 cars going around. We're going to be underneath the yellow flag once again. Is big junk down here on the front stretch. Larry Townsend has gone around. Brandon Marlowe has gone around. Let's take a look and see what happens to bring out our 10th yellow flag of the evening. Didn't work out the corner there. 3-4 wide. Stevenson there. Oh, they hooked the right turn quarter panel of George. And then George gets up into Townsend and up the racetrack. Track was blocked. The wholesale parking lot down there in turn number 1. One driver upside down in the catch fence. I believe that is Townsend. And that is what happened to bring out our yellow flag here once again. Let's watch it from the speed shot down here, looking down the front stretch. Coming at you, hang on. And up and over will go the driver, the 38. And just like that, we're underneath our 10th yellow flag of the evening. We'll be right back here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. You're watching the All-Star Racing Series.
Bowling brings people together.
Right down the middle. You got it. Uh-oh. Good job.
See what you can do, man.
Oh. Wait.
That's a strike right there. Woo! Connect with family and friends. Go bowling.
Welcome back to field. Going to be ready to go back. Green flag race will not by. I want to thank everybody for tuning on in out there as the lights come back on around the racetrack. Everybody not into their proper positions according to race control up here in the tower. Want to have a special shout out to Muth in the booth. He's watching here tonight as he recovers from home. So we want to thank Roger for tuning on in here tonight. I want to thank everybody for tuning on in, not just only Roger, but everybody that's been here since the green flag has dropped here tonight. Had 5 great heat races, and now we are in to our feature event, and it is just about 29 laps to go when the green flag drops this time by. Braswell has been out front for all 46 laps. Lassiter runs in that number 2 position. Carter is 3rd. Kennedy 4th, and Vandergriff has rallied up to the 5th spot as the pace truck. Down and away, green flag getting ready to come back out. Green is up, we're back underway. Everybody working the bottom of the racetrack. Braswell as well down the backstretch. Carter trying to make a move once again on Lassiter's. Now Vickers and Vandergriff will do battle for that 5th position. Off a turn number 4, they will come 1 lap more into the books. And it is Kennedy trying to find a way around Carter. They'll make some contact. Down in the turn number 1 and 2, down the backstretch, side by side, 2 rows deep. Carter going to try to slam the short door shut on the 98 of Kennedy. Up both will walk up the racetrack. That opens the inside line for Vandergriff. Vandergriff down to the inside. Car number 21, he's going to try to take away that 5th spot. Vickers rolling the outside of the racetrack. They'll come down the backstretch, 3 wide, down here in turn 1. 98 hip hopping and skip through the bumps down the backstretch as they roll off of turn number 4. They're all chasing the 18 of Braswell and the 51 of Lassiter, who is up on the front of this one. So contact here. Carter gets turned a little bit sideways. Everybody keeps it pointed in the right direction. So far, we stay green. Great battle back here for this 3rd spot here. They work off of turn number 4. The 98 of Kennedy working the outside of the racetrack. Now he'll try to work the outside of Carter off of turn number 2. Vickers down low. Vandergriff in that 5th spot as they all battle it out for 3rd. One driver on the move right there is the 00 of Garvey. He's starting to close in on this battle as it's 4 cars to blanket. Carter will kiss the inside wall up the racetrack. Carter's going to lose 3 positions in that exchange into turn number 1. Off of turn number 4, it'll be the Braswell showing away with 23 laps to go as they work down here in the corner, the 00 of Darby working the bottom of the racetrack. Darby working his way back up through the field. He's really working the bottom really well right now. That's the battle for the fifth spot. Vandergrift has it. Darby would like it. Carter trying to reel in the damage control from when he kissed the inside wall a few laps ago. Tough break for the driver of the 20. Kennedy and Vickers running nose to tail as they work down here to the corner. Number 1, Kennedy working the bottom of the racetrack. It is on board with number 19 of Michael Kennedy. Vickers down to the inside, couldn't quite make it stick. 20 laps to go. Braswell still up front, 2-second lead over Lassiter. He would become our 3rd different winner if he could hold on to it for another 19 laps. Vickers now to the inside. He'll go down low, slide up the racetrack, slide job. The 98 of Kennedy is going to take and work to cut it back underneath them. Couldn't quite make it stick that time in the turn number 3. Darby works the outside of the racetrack, and Vandergrift right there as well as they work off the turn number 4. 18 laps to go. Darby down to the inside. Now he'll work underneath Kennedy. Kennedy maybe has overheated those tires up the racetrack, banging it off the cushion. Now Darby's up to 4th. Kennedy back to 5th. Kennedy gonna reel it back in. He'll try to work around the 0-0 now of the 98 of Kennedy. Can't quite make it stick that time off the corner. Meanwhile, Vickers starting to close in on your 2nd place driver. That is Jacob Lassiter. Lassiter running in your number 2 spot. Vickers 3rd, Darby and Kennedy. That's your top 5. One spot of the top 5 run is the 21 of Vandergrift. He runs in the 6th spot. Tyler Carter back to 7th. 8th spot is Jeremy Bray, as he has just worked around the outside of the 44 of Stevenson. Brandon Marlowe has come back, and he'll round out your top 10. One spot outside of the top 10 is the driver of the 23 of Matt George. Blake Brown runs in the 12th spot, and Larry Townsend rounds out your cars left out onto the racetrack in the 13th position. Braswell on rails right now. He runs through turns 3 and 4. You see the bumps working down to the front stretch. That will really upset your race car. But Braswell doing a great job of trying to hold on to it. 12 to go at the stripe as they cross underneath the flag stand. Right now, 12 to go for Braswell. The last thing Braswell would want to see right now is a yellow flag, as they have a very fast Vickers and John Darby closing in on the 2nd place driver of Jacob Lassiter. Lassiter holding on to that 2nd spot. Lassiter picked up the inaugural season win at the Cedar Lake Speedway just 2 weeks ago. Last week, Justin Holt, who was unable to make the tow here tonight, picked up the win at Knoxville. 10 to go. They all get the high five ×2 by Barney the Flagman. 10 laps to go in our feature event back here. Good battle though, shaping up for this 10th spot in the 23 as George has it. Marlowe working down to the bottom of the racetrack. George works the outside. Marlowe down low is now Braswell has heavy lap traffic in front of him. He's got the 38 of Townsend and the 28 of Blake Brown. Blake Brown's going to get the outside wall, keep it going. The yellow flag's going to go out and saying goodbye to your 3-second lead, Mr. Braswell. Yellow, yellow, yellow. Number 11 coming out for the number 28 of Blake Brown. Working the outside of Townsend. And that outside barrier reached out and grabbed him. And that is easy to do here at the Volusia Speedway. See Townsend working down to the inside of the Blake Brown off the turn number 4. You see him just get there a little bit too wide, and boom! Right there in front of your race leader. And Brown gets the car refired, but heavy damage to the right side of that number 28. And that has slowed us for the 11th time here tonight. Braswell is your race leader. The 51 of Lassiter is second. Third is Thomas Vickers. He's your hard charger of the race. Will be Thomas Vickers in car number 1. He's up 10 spots, assuming he stays there. Look on board with your race leader, the number 18, James Braswell. Has led all 66 laps so far here tonight. He won both of his heat races, so trying to maximize on the night. Can he get it done? Pace truck down in the way. We're headed into the restart zone. Braswell's going to jump on the gas pedal. He'll fire away. 8 laps to go. Down and through turns 1 and 2. The number 51 of Lassiter showing the way over the number 1 of Vickers. Vickers going to roll the outside. Here comes Darby. And Kennedy's going to come after Darby on the inside. 7 to go at the line. Up on the front of this one, Braswell showing the way. Now Larry Townsend and Matt George will get tangled up. And the yellow flag will fly once again with 7 laps to go. Let's see what happened. These two are working down here in off turn number 4. Townsend on the outside. Marlowe to his inside. Oh, the 23 of George gets in the backside of Stevenson, and Townsend nowhere to go. And both those drivers make contact, and Barney puts it out. The slowest for the 12th time here tonight. Braswell is your race leader, and at number 18, a beautifully prepared number 18. Lassiter runs in that number 2 spot. Vickers is 3rd. 4th spot will be Thomas Vickers. John Darby rounding out your top 5. Or 4th, excuse me. 5th will go to Kennedy. 6th spot belongs to Tyler Carter, I do believe. So the field getting all set up here behind the pace truck. Lights have gone out around the speedway. We should go back green flag racing next time by. Pace truck down in the way of Braswell. Can he be perfect once again? He gets on the loud pedal. We're underway. Lassiter was much better on that restart. Can he make it to the outside of Braswell through turns 1 and 2? Lassiter with a run on the outside. Down the backstretch. 6 laps to go. Here comes the number 51 of Lassiter. He's going to try to become the first 2-time winner. Braswell up the racetrack. He'll take the line away. 5 to go at the line. Can Braswell hold on? He'll go back to the bottom of the racetrack. Lassiter to the middle, and Vickers way up high. 3 different lines working around the speedway now as Kennedy works underneath the 00 of Darby. Race leader coming off the line. There'll be 4 to go as they work down into turn number 1. They work through turns 1 and 2. Lassiter right to the back bumper now. This is the closest anybody's been to the 18 of Braswell in all race long. Up the racetrack, they will come off of turn number 4. Braswell will get 3 to go. Can Braswell hold on? Is yellow flag gonna fly once again? Yellow flag coming on out. Not quite sure what it was for. But the yellow flag is out. With just 2 laps to go in tonight's feature event. Yellow flag came out for the 38 of Towns. It looks like him and the 37 of Marlowe playing a little bit of bumper tag down in turn number 3 and 4. 37 was a little bit sideways, able to save it though, but the yellow flag flying. Not what your race leader of James Braswell wanted to see. As we go on board with the sim motion onboard camera looking out the front, this is the view that James Braswell has had all night long. His car really dialed in here at the Volusia Speedway. Can he hold on this restart? Jacob Lassiter really was putting the pressure to him on that restart. And that car number 51. Who is it going to be out there, race fans? Is it going to be Ken Braswell? Hold on to this one. Is it going to be Lassiter? Will those two maybe get together? Maybe Vickers will steal the win. John Darby back there in the 4th spot. He's been quick all night. And same with the number 98 of Kennedy. It's anybody's race this time. Off of turn number 4. The pace truck down and away. Braswell going to get on the gas pedal. We're back underway. 2 to go as they work down here to number 1, and the yellow flag immediately coming back out. It looks like possibly Brandon Marlowe was in trouble. Oh, the 117 of Prey gets in it there. A little of that slow start really stacked up the field. And that'll bring out our yellow flag here once again. Well, we got a moment. We're going to step away. We'll be right back here to the Turn 3 Racing Network. You're watching the All-Star Racing Series. Welcome back. We're going to get ready for the final restart of the night. 2 laps to go. Green flag is back out, and Braswell's going to jump away with a half-second lead down to turn number 1. Much cleaner restart down to the turn number 1. Lassiter now has the back pocket full of Thomas Vickers. Vickers trying to make it into your number 2 spot, but off of turn number 4. It'll be the number 18 of Braswell. White flag is out. Final trip around the speedway. Braswell leads him down to the turn number 1, and he can hold on to it for just one more set of corners. He'll have led all 75 laps here tonight in the turn number 3 for the final time off of turn number 4. Braswell, he'll be the 3rd different winner this season. Lassiter will come home 2nd, Vickers 3rd, Darby, Kennedy, Vandergriff, Carter, Stevenson, Prey, and Townsend rounding out your top 10. Brandon Marlowe will finish 11th, George 12th, Brown, Helton, and Kastritza rounding out your running order. Fireworks going off the turn number 3. Your race winner will be the number 18 of Braswell. And he will pick up the win. over Lassiter. Thomas Vickers will finish third. And we will have a moment here to sit there as number 18 celebrates down here in turn number 3 and 4. So Braswell picking up the win. Jacob Lassiter will come home in your number 2 spot. And third will go to Thomas Vickers. And we will go from there. So right now we'll let the drivers get in the formation down there. We'll be right back here on the Turn 3 Racing Network with our post-race show, brought to you by Autocraft Body Works.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic, real-world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome back here to the Turn 3 Racing Network for the Autocraft Bodyworks Paint post-race show at the Volusia Speedway. And let's go down now to the front stretch to our race winner, car number 18. It is James Braswell, and we gotta get Braswell up here. Braswell, well, you led all 75 laps. Your car looks pretty good out there, but talk us through those last few restarts. You had to be a little bit nervous on those last couple of restarts, especially after a few of those right back to back. Kind of had to play out the different restart zones. Were you nervous about Lassiter coming up behind you?
Yeah, the restart before last, he was on me pretty good. But then that last restart, I got a good jump, and going into 1 and 2, I railed it perfect. So when I saw the gap, I felt pretty confident that I'd hold it off for one more lap. But here we go, baby! That brand new capital car up front, finally.
You come home, and you're the third different winner this season in the All-Star Racing Series. Just shows how competitive it really is out there, and we see how fired up you are. But overall, what does this mean for you and your race team? You come in here tonight, you're doing okay in the points, but this one you clean house. You win both your heat races, and then you lead all laps and win the feature event.
Yep, me and my buddy Vanagriff and Carter, we've been putting in laps at this track all week, and just trying to get all the setups dialing in. We're trying to build our own setup, for every one of these tracks. So I think down the field in this series, man, we're going to be contenders every single week.
Well, this week we're at Volusia. Next week we head to the high banks of Limaland. And what's the outlook up there for that little bull ring up at Limaland?
Yep, love Limaland. Can't wait to go there either. One of my favorite tracks, and see how it is. I mean, there's a lot of fast guys in this league that are fast at Limaland, so that should be a pretty good race. I think it'll be better than this race.
Well, man, congratulations on picking up the win here tonight at Volusia, and what was a bit of a marathon. But hey, you come home, you're going to host that Gator up here tonight, and have that in the motorhome with you on your way back home. But before we let you go on and celebrate, who makes it all possible for you?
Oh yeah, man, Braswell Trucking, Tri-State Truck Repair. We got this Capital race car. We just got it this week. We got fresh team wraps on all the cars. So we're trying to look good out there for the fans and for the broadcast, man. So we won, baby. That's all that matters. We won.
Definitely did. Congratulations on the win, and that car is a beautifully wrapped automobile there. So congratulations on the win here tonight. We'll see you next week.
Yep. Shout out to John Darby Wraps. Let's go, baby. Thank you.
There you go. That was your second place driver there in the feature event. And coming home in your number 2 position, that would be the driver of the number 51 of Jacob Lassiter. And Jacob, you came home second there. You had a few of those restarts. You were able to stay with Braswell, but then the yellow flag would come out. How frustrating is that for a driver to have, have a chance and have it be negated by those yellow flags?
Man, I mean, he had a good car. I mean, there's the long green flag run we had. He pulled away from me. I didn't have anything for him. Actually, those restarts kind of helped me out. If I could time it right, you know what I mean, at least stay kind of by his quarter when we hit turn 1, I could get a good run. But he had the best car tonight, so I'm glad to see him win. He raced me clean at first race of the year. I was hoping to be able to do the same for him. I didn't want to run over him or nothing like that. It's not how I drive. So congratulations to him. He drove a good race and deserves to win.
Well, you had a great car. You come home in your second place here. It just shows the competition level for the third week straight. Different driver in victory lane. You come up one spot shy of being the first repeat winner of the season. But just talk about the competition that's out here with the All-Star Racing Series and how stout it is. It feels like anybody can win on any given week here with this series.
A lot of guys are new to me. I've ran some different leagues, but it's super competitive. And James and Justin and Brandon, he's usually really fast. He just kind of kept getting caught up and stuff. He just had a bad night. And but Sage didn't get to run tonight, but he's always fast. I mean, that Thomas, I think he started towards the back and got up to third. So I mean, yeah, I mean it's a good group, and they really, like I said, I was having to hit my marks any lap that I could gain on James. I was having to hit my marks perfect, and when you got the car set up like that, it's tough to beat him.
Well, you come home in the second spot, and not a bad night overall. You're going to come out of here with a good handful of points headed into next week at Lima Land. What's the outlook for the iBanks up in Ohio?
I hadn't been to Lima Land in a while, so I need to make a trip over there and run some laps and see if we can get something tuned in on this thing and maybe finish one spot ahead. Now, my teammate Justin Holt didn't get to run tonight. He's really solid there at Lima Land, so I expect for he to be tough, and hopefully we can have a good run, have a good team finish.
Well, before we let you roll on out of here, who makes it all possible for you and this 51 team?
Just first and foremost, I got to thank Max Green on the side of his car. Couldn't do it without him, his support. And got to thank Team DTJ. Like I said, Justin didn't get to run with us tonight. Haiti missed it. The jig and just all the group behind the scenes that make it possible. And got to thank Milner Media on the side of the car, does the wraps for me. Just got to thank the wife for taking care of the little one. She sacrifices so I can come in here and do this. Without her, it wouldn't be possible. Got to thank Blake and all the admins who put the league on. It's a headache dealing with this, but we appreciate it. They don't know it, but we do appreciate having a place to run. And got to thank you, man. You did a good job on the broadcast every time.
Well, thank you very much there, Jacob, and we look forward to seeing you up at Lima Land next week for the feature event. Until then, just stay safe out there and keep the wheels down, and we'll see you up at Lima Land.
I appreciate it.
There you go, your second place finisher here tonight. That was the number 51 of Jacob Lassiter, and that'll rounding out the podium here tonight will be car number 1. It is the driver of Thomas Vickers. And Thomas, you are the hard charger of the night. You're up 10 spots from your starting spot. Talk us through this race and how much of a challenge and how competitive and intense the racing was all 75 laps here tonight.
It was intense for the first 40 laps, and then the cautions, had to get over the cautions and trying to keep your line staying yellow most of the race. It was tough, but I was confident in my setup. My setup was flying on that outside. I was ripping it.
Yeah, your car seemed to work very good on the outside. We saw this track change throughout the night, and during the broadcast, I was mentioning how the bumps develop here at Volusia and how if you're not really prepared for them, it could really knock the wheel out of your hands.
Oh yeah, they do get rough right there when it starts getting to the end, and some cars were getting airborne. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, and tough. It's tough when your front wheels aren't on the ground. We saw some incidental contact down there in the turn number 1. It seemed like the front stretch was a little bit worse than the back stretch, but you had this car working on the outside. You came all the way from the 13th starting spot, and you came up just 2 spots shy here tonight in the feature event. But overall, a very good night for this car.
Thank you.
Before we let you go, who makes it all possible for you there, Thomas, in this number 1?
Myself, I put in the work for the setup and trying to make it work.
Well, congratulations on your 3rd place finish here tonight. We will see you next week up at the Lima Land Speedway, hopefully, there in Ohio.
All right, see you.
That is your number 1 driver who finished 3rd here tonight in the 75-lap feature event here at Volusia. And this is your unofficial rundown of how the cars have finished here tonight. It'll be James Braswell picking up the win. Jacob Laster will finish 2nd. Thomas Vickers 3rd. John Darby 4th. 5th will go to Michael Kennedy in car number 98. Kyle Vandergriff rallied nicely back for a 6th place finish with Tyler Carter rounding out in the 7th spot. Mike Stevenson in car number 44 was 8th. Jeremy Prey 9th in the car number 117, and Larry Townsend rounded out your top 10. Brandon Marlowe will come home in the 11th spot with Jeff Helton in 12th. Sean Kastritza will come home 13th. Matt George and Blake Brown will round out your running order unofficially here in the feature event. That will be a wrap here tonight for the All-Star Sim Racing Series, and you have been watching them here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, and they are brought to you by Autocraft Paint and Body Works, ABR Setup Shop, JDM Designs, FEGPC, Sim Motion, and Inside Sim Racing TV. Well, that'll do it here for us here tonight at the Volusia Motorsports Park. But next week, we head to Ohio, to the High Banks at Lima Land Motorsports Park for some side-by-side action-packed racing that you see each week here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Once again, my name is Upstate Al, and we thank you for tuning on into tonight's racing adventures here with the All-Star Racing Series. Until next week, keep the wheels down, and we'll see you at the races.